Miss, I hope you can see my screen.
Yes, sir.
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you. So I'll just move straight to action. Okay, so as we said earlier on, we said we are going to touch on the 5 new dynamic arrays in Excel, which you must know this year. In 2018, Microsoft started introducing a dynamic array formulas. That's when they did the 2018 in September, the Microsoft Ignite session. Usually every year, Microsoft have a session where they introduce some of the new functions they have upgraded in their, let me call it, in their suite. That's the Microsoft suite. And it was quite revolutionary in that those dynamic arrays were given to specific people to really try it and access it. That's what mostly we call them the insiders. And they made release of the dynamic arrays in the version of Excel 365 in 2021. What it means is that what we are going to do today, if your version is lower than 365 or 2021, you might find yourself a little bit wanting. Then you will not have access to the dynamic arrays we are talking about. So in that, what they did was just to improve on the calculation engine. That's in 2019, 2016 version of the Excel. Now, in terms of the dynamic arrays or arrays in Excel, it has been in existence for some time now, but it wasn't so friendly as we currently have it in the 365 and the 2021 version of the Excel. In that, in the previous versions, you always have to use what we normally call the legacy Control plus Shift plus Enter. That's all that you could use for the dynamic arrays for each of the individual cells if you apply the formula. We'll do an example and you take notice or you see it. Now, let's talk about the dynamic arrays. Really, the dynamic arrays are resizable arrays that calculate automatically and return values into multiple cells based on a formula entered in a single cell. Now, Microsoft over 30 years has undergone many changes, but one thing remained constant: one formula, one cell. That has been the norm. But traditional arrays, you have to enter a formula into each cell where you want a result to appear. That is what I initially said, where then you have to use the Control plus Shift plus Enter. And I know that most of you who are quite experienced have used this before, where you want to apply a dynamic array where you have to use the Control Shift plus the Enter. But we'll do an example right now. So I will move onto a worksheet and try and give you details of what we have just touched on. I'm sharing my screen. Sorry. Okay. Please, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I hope you also have the sample file, because like I said, it's going to be quite practical. So this is a simple calculation where we have our sales.
Yes, sir.
In column D here, and also you can see the percentage commission also in. That's where we have the 10%, 20%, and 30%. All that you want to do is you want to really do the calculation for all this just using the dynamic array in previous version. So normally what would happen here, I don't know, so that it become quite visible. I don't know whether it's better now. If not, I think my screen will be quite, okay. So normally what you do, it's equal to, assuming you just want to multiply, you just select the array. And let's say times the previous. And this time we are using Control plus Shift plus Enter. Continue. So Control, your hand should be on the Control, on the Shift key, then you enter. You get the result 10%. Now this result 10%, we applied the old Control Shift plus Enter in the versions like 2019, 2016. Now let me apply it here and see how it pans out without using the Control Shift. And I just do equal to. In the version of Excel 365 and 2021 times this, and I enter. It spills over. That is the power of the 365. Now it does all, and it spills over to complete for all. And that's the power of the 365, and that's the power of the 2021. This is what normally we call the quite dynamic and also a very powerful tool. So when you have the 365 or the 2021, what it means that you can simply do this. Maybe let me just pick it again. Equal to, just select the range of sales. These are sales. You want to find the commission rate for each of them. So you just multiply, you select the range and you enter and it spills over. Now note that since this spills over, the formula is really happening in cell M7. What it means is that you cannot delete any of the spillover. If I click on delete, it will never delete the spillover. I can only delete it on the first cell where the formula really occurs. So when I click on or when I delete it, the whole stuff goes away. So that's the power of the dynamic array of simply just using it to multiply. In the same way, you can also add, you can multiply, you can subtract. So then you need not to really pick the individual cells one by one, but you can just select the whole range and multiply with the range. And using 365 or where your Excel is 2021, it will spill over for you to get the results we are seeing. Let me go back to our PowerPoint slides, and I'll come back into the worksheet, then we continue. Please, I guess we are all following.
Yes, we are.
Okay. So now I've done a little bit of what you call the dynamic array. Now, as I initially said, the dynamic arrays were introduced in Microsoft Ignite conference in 2018 and released in Office 365 subscribers and also January 2020. Currently, they are available in the Microsoft 365 and the 2021. So if you don't have the Microsoft 365 or the 2021, you can always get in touch with us and we will be ready to assist you to have a suite for the Microsoft 365 or the Excel 2021 at a fee. Now, the dynamic arrays is supported in these versions: Excel 365, Excel 365 for Mac, Excel 2021, Excel 2021 for Mac. If you also have Excel for iPad, Excel for iPhone, Excel for Android tablets, Excel for phones, that's Android phones, and for web, you will have access to this. Now let's focus on today's agenda. What are we looking at? We are looking at 5 new dynamic arrays you must know this year. And we are going to touch on filter. Filter, as you know, I'm sure most of you are familiar with the normal filter we are aware of, where you have to do a drop down and just filter. But here we are going to talk about the dynamic array filter, which is a function. And filters data based on the criteria you defined. Then we have the unique. It's also a unique function, which extracts unique items from range of cells. We do sorts and sorts a range of cells by a specific column. We'll have a look at sequence. We generate a list of sequential numbers. And we'll look at the XLOOKUP, very powerful. I'm sure that when you understand the XLOOKUP, I'm sure that you will not be using the VLOOKUP and the X and match. And what does XLOOKUP do? Can look at both in columns and rows and returns multiple values. Then I'll have a surprise. That's the bonus bit. I'll reserve it for the last bit of it. So at this point, we move from the slides and now move on into the practical section. I don't know if at this section there's any question for me.
Okay, sir, I want to find out. Hello?
Yeah, I'm listening, please.
Okay, please, with the Excel 365, if you have the old version, is it going to be upgrade or you still have to get the whole?
No. So it's a new version. It's not an upgrade. It's a new stuff altogether. It's not like you have to upgrade. Fine, may call it upgrade, but it's a new version altogether. The 365 is based on an annual subscription. What it means that there's a fee for it which you have to pay annually before you can use a 365. Because with that one, with any let me call it upgrade or improvement, you get access to it. So that one is an annual subscription which you have to pay to get access to that. The 2021, you can have the one time off to buy for you to use. But if there's any upgrade, you won't get it because then you have to wait for the latest version. But the 365 is more online, and any updates, you get access to it.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Oh,
Yeah, hi.
please, the array formula. I'm using 2016 Excel.
Right. You are using
is it
2016.
control.
Yeah,
Yes.
so it's Control Shift Enter.
Control Shift Enter, right? Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Hello.
sir.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, hello, I'm here.
Yes, sir.
My name is Fred.
Yes, sir, Mr. Fred. I want to know if you can, if there's a link or something you can download for let's say data sets to work on, for example, like you are doing now. So if there's
my data set was shared. I said when you visit, please, did you receive an email? Because I shared the data I'm using. But did you receive it?
Yes, I received the email.
Yeah, so I'm sure you will see the data in there. But I can also share it in the chat box. Let me just share that, so that if you want to download, you can just download.
Hello, sir.
The link is shared already.
Okay.
And then you can
Okay,
just click on the link and then download them.
Okay, thank you.
I just did my quite number of data sets on them.
Okay, then let us move straight to action there, so that we don't waste
Hello,
time.
sir. Hello.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. So what's the difference between like if I press Control Shift Enter and I just press Enter without the Control Shift? Because it
So
works.
the Control Shift Enter introduce you to a dynamic. So let me share my screen now. Let you know the difference. I'm coming. Let me share my screen. You understand me better. Please, I hope you can see my screen.
Yes.
Okay. Now, as I said in the previous, so this one I use Control Shift Enter. You can see in an array form. You see it in the, what do they call this? You will see it more like in a form of an inverted bracket form. Hold on, I'm coming. So let's see it this way. So if I select the whole array or the whole range, multiply, I select this whole range, and I just do enter. It will spill over because I'm using the 365. If you are not using the 365 or the 221, you won't get this result. What it means is that you need to use the Control Shift Enter. Let me delete and use the Control Shift Enter so that you understand me better. So if I select this whole range and I do equal to, and I say this, so my assumption is that I'm using 2016 or 19 version, and I select this range. In doing that, I have to use the Shift Control Enter before it will apply, and I will get the right answer. That's called what we call the legacy CSE array formula. In the same way, if I want to, there's a function in Excel called unit, which returns the unit matrix for the specified dimension. So as when I want to do a 4x4 array in metrics, those who are quite mass biased, and I do Control Shift Enter, this is the result I will get. But if I select it across the whole range and I go into the formula bar and I do Control Shift Enter, it will do a simple unit matrix for me, a 4x4 matrix. In the 2021 or 365, I can just do the M unit 4x4 and just enter. It will spill over. So that one, I don't need to use a Control Shift Enter. All I have to do is just enter, and I'll have a spillover to have a 4x4 matrix. Simple for you.
Oh,
okay. So that's the difference. So those who are using 216 or 19, they will have to use the Control Shift Enter. Those who have the 365 or the 2021, it's just a matter of just pressing enter, and the dynamic array implies, calculation engine applies, and it will spill over. As I said, so far as you do it that way, you cannot delete any of them. You can only delete it from where you entered the formula. So when I delete it, it's gone. But if I should delete from any of the cells. It will never delete. It will never delete. Now, assuming that in the spillover, let me also show you something here. Assuming that in the spill, okay, so assuming that I have 1 here, and I put my formula here, saying M unit, let's say 4, a 4 by 4 matrix. You see that it gives me the error hash spill. I'm having hash spill because when it spills over, it has to really get rid of it. And because we have the 1 here, it cannot spill over that. That's why I'm having the hash spill. But the moment I delete it, you see I have my results. That is how it works. Okay, so now can we move straight to our Can we move straight to 2? As I said, we are looking at some basic functions. So we are looking at the unique array as our first step, because the content we have here, we are looking at simple array, we are looking at the unique. So now we have the unique. The unique will normally take the array by column and exactly 1. So assuming you have a data, so here I have a data, and this can be a very huge data, and I just want to find the unique departments in there. In the previous versions, you can just use data. Let me go through that process for you to see. You can just go to data and just go to remove duplicates, and duplicates will be removed. But there's a function now in the 365 or 2021 where you can just type equal to unique. It's also a dynamic array, and just select, let's say, where I have the department. Maybe I want to know the unique department in this really data. So the moment I select the range, close my parentheses and enter, it spills over and gives me the unique department. So you can see that we have only procurement, ICT, sales, and finance. That is the power of it. So assuming in the names, maybe you are working on the data, you want to find the unique names of the people, you can simply type in unique. It will pop up, select the array where I have the name, and enter, and it will populate all the names in there. Note that it will not, if a name is repeated, it will never repeat it. So example, let me type in Johnny here again. Let me just align it. Okay, so you can see that Johnny, let me just copy Frank. So you can see that Frank and Johnny is duplicated, sorry. Frank and Johnny is duplicated. So let me just select the range and just go to conditional formatting and just say highlight duplicate. So you can see the duplicates in there. Now I want to use the unique to really pop out only the unique identity. So in the same way, we are still using the name column. So I can just type unique here. Select the whole range, close my parentheses and enter. So you can see that it's picked, or it didn't repeat Jenny, it did not repeat Frank. So it picked it individually without any repetition. Now in the unique, you can also use the unique to only pick names which does not repeat. So in this case, if I use that, it means it will not pick Frank, it will not pick Jenny because they are repeated names. How do we do that? I can just use unique, select the whole range, comma, we are doing it by, we are not doing by columns, we are doing it by rows. I can skip that because by default, it will pick by rows. Then the last one is return. So we have return items that appear exactly once. But here, I want to return every distinct item, but I will choose true because I want to return the items that appear exactly once. And that will be a true. Close my parentheses and enter. It spills over. So you can see that Frank is not here because it was duplicated. So it will not pick. It will only pick unique items which are in there. That is the power of the function unique, which is a dynamic array. In the same way, you can also do it for a whole range of data. So simply, I can also go in, pick unique, and even select the whole data range. And enter. It will spill over for me and pick all the unique identities in there. So if there are duplicates within, what it means is that we'll check all the rows. I'm having this here because of the format. I can simply select the range, use the format painter, and change the format to be the data you can see there. So then we are good to go. So that is it. So what means that I can apply the unique to a particular array, which can be just a column, or you can use it to apply a whole range. So the unique also works in here. We'll move on to the next one, which has to do with sort. Sort. I'm sure that previously, or normally what you will know is that we select the whole range, go to filter and sort, and maybe go to custom sort or sort by A or sort by B, sort by Z to A. But there's a powerful function which you can use to do this. Simply, you can go to equal to sort. Assume I want to sort these names in alphabetical order. So I can just select the name in here. Let me not add the name to it. And close the parentheses and enter. It will sort it in alphabetical by default. So you see that I've sorted it from Ifwa, Andrai, Bruni in that order, just by using the formula. As I said, you cannot delete, if it spills over, you cannot delete any of them within it like that. The only way you can let it go off is just selecting where you apply the formula and delete, and it will go away. So that is it for this. So in the same way, assuming you want to sort in descending order, you can simply use the sort, select the same name range, comma, we'll use the sort index. The sort order will choose descending, and you can close our parentheses, and you see it sorted from Susan, Sandy in that order. In the same way, I can decide to choose the range and sort it by the department. So I can come in here and say that equal to sort, select the whole range, and where's my interest? My sort index will be the third column. That I want to sort by the department. So which means I'll choose 3, because in the array we have chosen, the department is in the index or is at the column 3, counting from here 1, 2, 3, comma, our sort order, I will sort by just ascending. So I'll select 1 and close it and enter. It spills over. So you can see that this sort was really done based on the department. So you can see that we have finance coming first, we have ICT, procurement before sales. Sorted very nicely. And the format here is not in date format, that's why you can't, it's showing numbers, but I can just use the paint format, the format painter, change it into the date and the salary they join. So simply your data becomes. Note that this is also dynamic. That's why we call it dynamic array. Now, if I make any update in this, it will update here. So assuming I put in maybe Mary, in the name Mary, I change it to, let's say, Amma, and I enter. See, it updates. So you see that with the Ifwa, you have the Amma coming in. Assuming even with the department, I change one and say this lady is, let's say, in, I want a department which really comes in here. Let's say HR. Let me use HR. It will update. Now you can see HR in here, quickly updated. That's how dynamic the function sort is. I don't know if there's any question here. If not, we'll move on to, but there are more things which the sort. So here I can even combine the unique and sort, but I'll come back to that in my last bit, where I'll combine all the arrays to really perform or solve a solution, give a solution. Please, any question?
With
Yes,
only
sir.
your jump.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Please, so the formula you use for the sorting,
Yeah.
the tray is referring to the third column, right?
Yes.
And the one is sorting in ascending
Yes.
order.
Yes, in ascending order. So assuming I wanted to sort in the descending order, I could have just choose a negative one. So you see that the sales, you can see that. Hope you can see that.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, well.
Okay, I want to ask a quick question.
Yes, please. I'm listening.
The second sheet, when you used the unique,
Yes.
at the bottom, Jenny and Frank still appeared, but the other columns had 000 in there. Why that?
Okay. Because there were no values. Let me explain. Let me share the screen again. This one. Hello.
Yes, please.
Because I don't have any values under it and I department. So, example, if I complete this and say Jenny is a female, it will update. If I say he was in the sales department, it will update. I didn't have any values, that's why it was showing there. So I guess you understand now. Please, you
I
get
thought
it.
that is supposed to return unique values. So since Johnny and Frank has been repeated, they'll clear those out. It will clear those from the matrix, from the array.
No, so this one I was applying to the whole matrix. So it's looking at the whole matrix as name, gender, where they are the same. Okay, so let me show you. So maybe let me pick this. Let me copy Frank and let me copy throughout the whole column. I get you. And let me paste its value all here. And let me go and pick which one did I pick again? I have Frank even 3 times. Jenny, okay. Okay. And let me paste it also here. Okay. So you can see that it's no more there.
Right. I see that.
Yes, because then the whole line item or the whole row are duplicated. It didn't happen that way because so far as let's say the gender is different, it will see it as a unique because applying the unique to the whole data, not just a particular column. I don't know whether that's clear.
That's very clear. Thank you.
Thank you too.
Okay. Hi, Fred.
Yeah. Hello.
Yes. In the sorting, right? I also wanted to find out: can you sort by say 2 columns at the same time? So you sorted by the department. I want to sort by department and the date as well. Is that possible?
Yeah, that's possible. But I think this one, the one I just did, I sorted by the name, but my focus was even more on the department. So if you see the department is sorted.
Yes. So the department.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the department is sorted, right? But you can see that the name is not sorted because you have Kwame coming before Dorothy, which should
because okay, I get you. But okay, so I'm coming. Let me do another one here. So you are saying that okay, so this is my array. And say you want to sort by.
Okay, so for let's say we are sorting the department and the names, right? So if, for instance, the sales team, Dorothy should come first, then Frederica, and then Kwame in alphabetical order.
Okay. Okay, that it works. Are you okay?
Okay. Yes. I get it.
Okay.
Okay. So it means I could have added, let's say, you did 1, 3, so I could have added 4, right? So that the dates will also be arranged alphabet.
Sure.
Okay.
You're right.
Okay. Get it. Thank you.
Welcome.
Please, can you explain the formula?
Okay. So when you see the salt, I selected the whole range. My interest was in column 1 and 3 because he wanted me to sort based on column 1 and 3. So what will happen is that it will pick column 1 sorted by name and now move to the department also sorted. So that's why you can see IFOA and finance coming. So what it means that it will sort column where we have the name before it moves to the department. That's where the focus will be. As he said, assuming I wanted to add salary, I'll have done another comma in here and added 5 to it.
Okay.
Okay. So we are moving on to the filter.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Hello.
Okay.
Yeah, please, hello. I wanted to ask a question on the sorts. So, with regards to the data that we are using, so can you decide to sort, let's say, column 1 in ascending order and any other column in maybe in a descending order in that format?
No, how would you know? That would be difficult for the engine to understand. That would be difficult. You are sorting column A by order, and at the same time, I don't know why you like to do that.
Okay.
I don't know. It's like let's say someone should go first. At the same time, I say no. When it go first, I don't know. Maybe I'll find out, but I'm not sure the engine will be able to accept because we are going in two opposite directions.
Okay.
Maybe you can do that if we do a nested sort, but I'm sure when we get in touch, we'll be able to give you the solution to that. Okay, let's move on to filter.
Hello.
Because we have a lot to cover. Yeah. Today is just an introduction. So assuming that what do I want to do? Okay. So assuming this data, I want to filter this based on any salary. So I'm using the salary, let's say based on someone's salary, which is greater greater than let's say 75,000 or let's say 100,000. Right. Sorry. Let me pick it again. Sorry. Yes, I'm picking some channels. Okay. So this is our array. Sorry. This is our array. We want to filter this. Let me put my amount somewhere in here. And get that will help me. Let's say 100,000. 1, 2, 3. So we have equal to filter. This is my array. Include this, which is greater. Am I not getting it correct? Is greater. Okay. So I guess you get it now. So here I've filtered out those whose salary are above $100,000 in terms of salary. Let me just apply the filter here to ensure that I don't know. Please, did you get it? Hello. So it means only these people have their salaries above 100,000. So you can check. We have Samantha.
Can you please go over?
Please, Samantha here is this. You have Mary. You can see here that Mary's salary is above $100. We have Frederica. You can see Frederica's amount. So you can even check. You can see that apart from the two, none of them salaries above 100,000. And so far as you do this, again. Come again.
The formula. I lost.
Oh, okay. Okay. So let me pick it again. Or let me just run over again. So all that we did was that you select the whole range. You apply the filter to the range you're interested in. So example, let me do it again somewhere. So example, equal to filter. Filter, I choose this whole array. Filter based on salary. That's how the engine is working. In a situation where the salary is greater than $100, so I make reference to $100, close my parentheses and enter. So it gives me those details. So here is dynamic. So far as I even change the $100, it will update. So far as I update this, it will also update. When you combine this with tables, it becomes very powerful. What it means that so far as you keep on updating your table, then your data is being updated with no difficulty. So here, if I change as those whose salary are above $90,000, 1, 2, 3, you see that it has updated. Now we have about 4 people. James have been added. Even if I want to do below 50,000, 1, 2, 3, it's updated. Please, I hope we are fine.
Yeah.
So I can move on to the next section, which is sequence. Yes, what you are doing will not be compatible with, as I said, 3.6. Will not be compatible with 2016, 2019, unless you are using the 3.65 or the 2021. As I said, if you are in need of the 3.65 or the 2009, the 2021, you can always contact us and we'll be willing to assist you to upgrade to that level. Okay, so let's do the sequence. The sequence is also a very powerful one. Just that it helps you to generate powerful tools. Let me go back and just do a little bit of the filter of, so assuming I'm even looking for a name, which I said that maybe I'm just looking for the names which have the length of the word to be, let's say, just 3. So example, if I'm using filter, I can say this array, give me this. In a situation where this, am I right? I'm introducing another function here. Where the length of the text is, let's say, greater than 5. Let me use 5. I'm sure the names are, am I right? No, I should have used them. Greater than 5, all of them are greater than 5. Am I right? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, something is not working right for me.
Maybe we can do it less than 5.
Let me just do it maybe equal to calculation error. Okay, I understand them. This still works for me. Oh, fine. If I'm not successful, I'll come back to it. Okay. I'm not getting the right result. I'm not getting the result I'm looking for. I'm not getting the result I'm looking for, but I'll come back to that. Let me move on to the sequence. So if you have the sequence, assuming I want to generate random numbers in a particular sequence. So let's say this one are in rows. So assuming that I want to generate 10, by default, if I use a sequence like this, it will generate 1 to 10 for me. As I said, you cannot just delete any of them because it's a spillover, so you cannot delete. Now, quickly, assuming that I want the interval to be a 2 plus 2. Assuming I wanted my sequence should be this. Okay. So assuming I want my sequence to be with a step of, let's say, it should start from, let's say, 10 with a step of 4. With the step, have I entered so many arguments? I think I've entered so many arguments. Okay. So we are starting at 10 with a step of 4. Close it, enter. So you can see, and the sequence is 10, 14, 18, 22 in that order. Assuming that I want it by 2 columns. So split this way. So we'll have 10, 14, 18, like that, in that order. Please, I hope you understand. So assuming I want it in 3, I can just change the 2 to 3. And it will give me the sequence in that order. So what it means is that 3 columns.
Please, the first 10, what does it represent? The first 10.
Because I said I wanted to start from 10. I'm getting 10 columns. I'm getting 10 rows, 3 columns.
Please, can you go back again with it?
Oh, okay. Okay, I get it.
Can you go back?
Someone is saying he gets. Someone says that. Okay. So we are doing 10 rows. columns, we are doing, let's say, 3 columns. And we are starting from, assuming this time we want to start from 1, but with each interval 2. Do you get it? So 1, the interval is 2, so you move to 3, 4, 5 in that order. Please, are you okay? Hello.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay with it.
Okay, so assuming you don't want it in this, you don't want it to move 1, 3, but you want it to move from one column, then start from another. You can combine it with a transpose to do it. So, but first I will do so. You can have transpose the sequence. We'll have our row to be, I think we'll change it to 10. We are starting from 1. Our step is, let's say 2. We close our parentheses, and end. So you get it now. So you see that now this time it follows the order 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13 before it comes to start from 21 from here. Still with an interval of 2. So you can randomly generate numbers like that. Please, are we okay?
Yes, please.
Okay. I want to try something here. I'm combining the index with sequence here. Okay, so I've combined index and index. So this is a data. This is a data which was really populated in terms of address. So we have the addresses by, what do we call it? It's stacked. So you have the street, you have the city, you have the state. But I want to populate it in such a way that I have the street, city, and state in different columns. And I just combine index and sequence to really do that. You can see that in all this, we have 24, which means like 8. So we'll have to have 8 columns. So what it means is that if I change the row to 8, already I have my 3 columns here already. So if I change this to 8, it will generate for all for me. So all this data, which was tagged in one column, have now been able to separate it by street, city, and state. So you can combine the sequence and index other functions to really solve your challenges. So I hope this is clear. Okay. Before we continue, I just want to run a poll. At least since we have done, at least I would like to know what, at least with all that you have done, I don't know whether I know if you are quite familiar with the dynamic arrays. So please quickly respond to this poll for me, then we'll continue. So I'm waiting for the response. I want to ensure that at least I have my people following me. So please respond to it. Which of the dynamic arrays are you familiar with? You can select if there are multiple of them. You can just select and just respond. I guess you can see the pool.
Yes.
Okay. So if you can just quickly respond to it. Then after that, we continue. Just 3 questions.
I would like to know if like we are familiar with before the class or after, whilst we are in this class.
Before the class, sorry. because now at least you know. So before the class, sorry, I should have launched this before the class. Before the class. So here, when we're saying sort or filter, we don't mean the normal sort and filter, but using the sort function and the filter function as a dynamic array. I can see that some people are saying they were familiar with the XLOOKUP, though we haven't touched on XLOOKUP. But XLOOKUP will be very, very interesting. So if I have a lot of people who are familiar with the XLOOKUP, then at least we can do some wonderful stuff. Okay, so I have 45%. At least I know that people are following me. I'm still waiting. Just left with just 1 minute. I will end the poll. So please kindly respond to it quickly for me. Okay, people are saying they have used the sorts before. Some people are saying a week ago, a month ago, last year, never. Okay. Can you also note that you also organize classes for individuals who really want to advance their career in the Microsoft Excel and also Word or PowerPoint? We also do Power BI and Tableau. So you can get in touch if you really want to really advance your career and also even get yourself certified as a Microsoft certified Excel expert or Word expert or PowerPoint expert. You can always get in touch and we'll be willing to assist you on that career path. Okay, so I guess I'll end the pool. Thank you very much. I guess a lot of people very few are saying they're familiar with the dynamic arrays. Very few people have used the XLOOKUP. So our next one will be the XLOOKUP. Our next stuff will be the XLOOKUP. I don't know if there's any question from me. Let me just quickly move on to the XLOOKUP. If do you have some questions for me?
Hi, Fred. No, please. Currently, we don't have any. I think the ones that were asked, you touched on it. So Annan had wanted to know what's the clear difference between the filter and sorting was. And then Andrew has already answered him that sorting is basically rearranging.
Okay. So let's move on.
There was also a question.
Okay.
He wanted to know if this was compatible with Excel 2016.
No. As I said, it's for Excel. It's for Excel. It's for Excel 20. As I said, 2021 and 365. You won't get this in the 2016 and 9. Okay. I guess welcome. Okay, so now we move on to the XLOOKUP. XLOOKUP here, very powerful. I'm sure that the moment you understand the XLOOKUP, you will not be using the VLOOKUP again. Those who are quite advanced. XLOOKUP is a combination of the index, match, and VLOOKUP itself. And even I've also added the if error, where you have to add the if error to the VLOOKUP. XLOOKUP sorts that one out simply and very, very neat. So in my data, when you go to sheet 6, you can see that you have XLOOKUP here. But all that you wanted to hear is that here there's a simple question here which says that find the employee ID of Steven. You want to use XLOOKUP to solve that. You can see beside it, you have the VLOOKUP, but I want to use the XLOOKUP and you see how simple it is. So equal to. The XLOOKUP will normally take 6 arguments if I'm right. So you have the lookup value, you have the lookup array, you have the return array, if not found. So those are optional, match mode. The last 3 are optional. The first 3 you need to really make sure that you make an input in there. That's the lookup value, the lookup array, and the return array. So here, what are we looking out for? We are looking out for Stephen. So we'll just refer to Stephen in the cell H18, comma, lookup array. How are we looking at for? We are looking up for this in, so I can use this in VLOOKUP. So let me not. So what are we doing in lookup array? We are looking up in this. And where we want our return array, we are interested in the ID. The ID can be found in this. So then we select this. We can close our parentheses and enter. It gives us the result. The ID of Stephen, you can check here. It's C092. As you can see, the same 6092. Here you can see that our reference was we are moving from left to right. That is the standard for VLOOKUP, but XLOOKUP can move in all directions. So just look here. XLOOKUP, assuming my names were on the right side, I can still select Stephen, select my lookup array, and my return will still be this, and XLOOKUP will still solve this for us. If it was supposed to be VLOOKUP, it will not be successful. So you see, I get it right. Either moving from left to right or right to left, XLOOKUP can just do that. Very simple. Look at Collins. The next one is that I should find the birth date of Collins. So what do we do here? We have XLOOKUP Collins. That's the lookup value, lookup array, where we have the name. So we select the range where we have the name. And what do you want to return? You want to return date of birth. So the column where we have the date of birth, we select the range. And we close our parentheses and enter. So we give us the date of birth. The format is not in date. That's why you are seeing this way. So simply I can use the format painter, copy the format and apply it here. And you can see the what do you call it? The date of birth. In the same way, I could have used a spelled array to do that. Let me try that. So assuming I wanted to pick the date, the employee ID, and the date, I could have just say XLOOKUP, go and look for Collins. The lookup array this, and return this range. So my lookup array and our return, I want both the employee ID and the date of birth. And it will still be able to do that. It spills over. So it gives me the employee ID for Collins, which is C070. As I said, it's the format. So I can just go and use the filter or just change it into date format. Simply here, change it into date, short date format, and I have it. You can check. It's 31st. Where is Collins? This is Collins. And you can see that Collins is C070, 31st of 1st, 1995. So yes, simple, it just spells it over for you. In the case of VLOOKUP, you have combined index and match. At XLOOKUP does this very, very easy for you. Let's look at this. We are looking for Kofi in the data. So we want to find, let's say in the same, we want to find Kofi's employee ID and date of birth in this huge data. So we start with an XLOOKUP. Select Kofi. Our lookup array. And look for it from here. Or return array. I want to return the employee ID and date. Even if here I can even decide I want to look at the date they joined and also employee ID, all the three. Close my parentheses and enter. Wow, I get NA. NA, why am I getting this error? I think I'm getting this error in that because in this date or in this data, I don't have Kofi. You can check. I don't have Kofi. That's why I'm getting this error. If it's supposed to be VLOOKUP, which means I'll have to add an if error. But XLOOKUP is so powerful that it gives you another option telling you that if not found, what should it bring out? I can simply introduce an apostrophe and say that, a quotation mark, a double quotation mark, and say that, let's say, not in data. So far as it doesn't find that, the result should be not in data. And to give me the result as not in the data, as you can see, it's being applied here. So because we don't have Kofi in there, that's why we are having this error. Assuming that I change the Papu here to Kofi, it's dynamic. It will simply update. And you see that now it spills over to give me the employee ID, the date of joining, the employee ID, and the date of birth. As I said, it's because the format is not in, but you can see. Okay. So that is the power of the XLOOKUP, helping you to move in all directions. Let me pick another example where I want to really embed a nested XLOOKUP. I think with this one, I've done the example here. So simply go to XLOOKUP. You can try it on your own. You go pick Samuel. And your interest is in the lookup array. Where can we find Samuel? You're interested in date of joining. So that's the return array with the date of joining, employee ID, and date of birth. And simply you can enter that. And voila, it spells it over for you. Here, we want to find out the employee ID, which I guess with all the examples I've done, you should be able to go through this. Now, I want to do a nested XLOOKUP. What it means is that you can move from different tables to solve this or to do this. So assuming I have a table here and I want to join it, there's another table in here. There's another table in here. And I want to look through all the tables to find Pabna. So my first data will be equal to, so I want to find the employee ID of Pabna, but the data is in different sheets. You can still use XLOOKUP to do that. How do you do that? You select the XLOOKUP, you select Pabna. Which array are you looking at? We are looking for it from here. And our interest is in the return array employee ID. So we select employee ID and we close. It gives us an error. What means that Pabna is not in there. I want to go into the second table and find that. So we introduce another comma, and if not found, then I want to use another XLOOKUP again. XLOOKUP, still go into Pabna. That's my lookup array. And where should I go and look at? I'll go in here. Go and look for Pabna in here. And when you find it, return the employee ID. And close it. And close it again and enter. You see, it's able to pull out the employee ID for Pabna from you. I can join a number of multiple tables in different sheets to do that. So you can see that Pabna is really here. But I'm able to join the XLOOKUP to be able to, after looking into the first table, it did not find it. Now it comes here and it sees that Pabna is here and it brings out the employee ID, which is C089. And when you check here, it's also C089, which means that with the XLOOKUP, you can use multiple tables to really pull out the data you really want to pull. I don't know if at this juncture there's any question for me, but I'll move on to more complex. I won't say complex, but what you can do with the XLOOKUP again in a situation where you want to apply a commission or a tax formula, you can still use the XLOOKUP. So this is a simple table in here. We are saying that if you make sales between 0 to 2,500, you get 10% commission. Between 2,500 to 3,500, 15% commission, in that order. We want to use the XLOOKUP to apply, and these are sales made by some salespeople. We want to know the commission to apply for them. You can still use the XLOOKUP to do this. But first, we need to input here the upper limit. So you are saying 0. here 2,500, because that's the range we'll be applying that. We are having 4,500, sorry, 3,500. 4,500 and 5,500. So we are saying that if your sales is greater than 5,500, you earn a commission of 30%. How do we apply this? Simply, you can use the XLOOKUP and say that equal to, you want to find out the commission. XLOOKUP. Go and look for, what are you looking for? We are looking for this. In this lookup array. In this lookup array. And when you find it, return this, comma. But here we don't want the exact match. We want the exact match or near next to or next smaller item. So we'll select that one and close our parentheses and enter. So you see that it has applied for all. Simply, you can just drag it down to complete for all, or simply use a control plus and enter. Oh, sorry, I should have blocked it. It's because I did not block it. That's why I'm getting this error. So I should have blocked this using F4 and block this also using F4 and enter. Then I can use the control enter to complete for all. So you can see what means that Grace, who sold 3,000 and above, definitely will have to earn 15% commission. I hope I'm right. Because the 3,000 will be between this. So 15. You can see that Ben, who sold 4,500, will definitely get 25% commission. So someone who sold, Phyllis, who sold 5,592 is getting 30% commission. And you can see Derek also 15% commission. You can also use this to apply for tax ranges. Most important thing is that you apply it and you apply it very well. And simply, it will do this for you. So you can even do this and just simply, what it means is that you'll be, so the incentive gained by each commission, each salesperson will just be the sales times the commission. Which then, or with the scale up we just learned, you can just select this whole range and multiply it by the also and just enter and you have your results very nicely. And know that this is really spelled. When it's spelled, you find out that when you select the first cell, you see a light blue stuff around it. What means is that this is a spelled result, and you cannot delete any unless you delete it from the first one. You cannot delete it from the first one. I guess just an introduction to the dynamic arrays, and I guess I won't say we'll end here, but I'll take some questions and if there's any clarity you want. But there are more in-depth into this. This is just an introduction or just the surface to the dynamic arrays. You can use this very powerfully for a lot of work or to help you to be more efficient in your work and also to build models for yourself. I don't know if from your end, if there's any question for me.
So I want to ask a question. I don't know if it's related to this, what we're doing today, but it's actually related to Excel.
Okay.
Yes, sir. So if, for instance, you want to take up a course in, what do you call it, data analysis, must you know everything in Excel?
Oh, no. You can't know everything in Excel. You cannot know everything in Excel. Because every day people are doing new stuff. No, if you want to take, at least your basics in Excel should be good. At least that gives you a good foundation for you to take on. Because some people are even data analysts, but they are not good in Excel. Because they will, in the data analytics field, they will move into maybe more of programming stuff. So then it's not a master for you. Because you have people who are masters in Excel, who are masters in Power BI, because there are a lot of tools in there in the data field. Some people are using the Python, some people are using the R to analyze data. Some people are measuring basically in visualization. Some people are just have to do with how to more of analyzing data. Some people are majoring in how to clean data. Some people are experts in cleaning data, but they can't even analyze, but they can clean the data very well for you, for someone to really analyze it and make meaning out of it. So in the data field, there are a lot of sections in there. So for you to be a data scientist, you don't need to be an expert. You don't need to be an expert in Excel, but it helps.
By this, you are saying that there's a difference between data cleansing, the analysis aspect of it, and then the visualization aspect of it.
Yes. Let me tell you, one of the difficult parts of when it comes to data has to do with data cleansing. Nobody wants to go into that area because cleaning data is very difficult. But before you can get a good result, you need to get someone to clean your data for you. Because if there's an error in the data, then the results you are giving out will not be correct or will not show a true reflection of what you are working on. It's a tedious area, I won't lie to you, where you have to sit down, correct some stuff. Some people have spelled their name wrongly. Some people, instead of a number starting with a 0, they have input an O and all that. You need to make sure that you clean all this, that to make sure that the data is in the right form for you to really use it to work or analyze. It's very critical that some people too are very good in just connecting, or let me call it programming, pulling data from Excel and analyzing it in, let's say, Tableau, or analyzing it in Power BI and all that. Some people are more going into the programming part. Some people are more into working with it in the Excel or Power BI or Tableau or Auto. Yeah.
So I just want I'm starting a career in data analysis, but you watch videos and some people tell you go into Excel, some people tell you do this, like it really
you see, Excel, okay, the truth is Excel is fundamental in, let me call it, all the analysis, because even currently in the working space, even if you are using a software, when they say export, you export into Excel. You analyze in Excel. So at least your basic in Excel should be good. But it doesn't mean that, because you have serious programmers who are data analysts, because they are more focused on programming. Also, they have majored in, let's say, SQL. They are not really Excel gurus.
So I'm sorry. Just a quick question. So what would be your advice, like, for someone who is starting a career in data analysis?
Okay, so someone who is starting data career in data analysis, what our advice is that first, at least you need to make sure that you build up your Excel fundamentals. At least you understand the basics, and then you can move on into the Power BI space, because that one, it's easy to get access to the tools and use it. Then you can advance into, because the point is that Microsoft is leading. Microsoft tools are the leaders in terms when it comes to office use, because in any office you will have to type, you have to use Excel. Very few people very few companies will spend on, let's say, a Tableau or spend on Ultrix, because they are a little bit expensive compared to the Power BI. So yes, you can go into that space. You also need to know a little bit of SQL. If you're a programming person, then I would say that you can delve into really SQL, Python, and also R. That will help you in your career in data analysis or data science.
Thanks so much. I'll get in touch.
Sure, Solomon. Please, let's focus on what you did today. Question.
Okay, so what about what we did today? Looking at the functions and the arrays that we used, can you use VBA to do all this?
Have you heard of Power App?
Power App?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Yes, you can use VBA, but if you are not a programming person, then you are better off this way, because not everybody is into program. Not because in the VBA, yes, you need to code, you need to do one or two things, but because the reason I'm saying about the Power App or Power Automation is that there's a higher version of Power Automation. They call it Power Automation. It's doing more of like what VBA used to do, but that one you need not to code. It's a matter of understanding what you want to do and picking and dropping. And at the end of the day, it doesn't even limit itself to only Excel.
Okay.
It limits itself to other.
Is that the name is what? Power.
Check Power Automate.
Power
Automation.
Automate.
They are one of the Power App tools.
Okay. All right. So, but please, are you really into programming? Because I want to combine the Excel Office and then the programming. That's what I'm doing now.
No, but are you a programming person?
Well, I have started a foundation.
And what's your foundation? Your foundation is in which one?
Oh, in R.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Yes, in R. But then you see the R and then the Python. If you understand R very well, sometimes the differences are not that much. Just that the codings are sometimes different.
Yeah. No,
yes,
if you want to go into the data, then fine. So the programming language you really need to know how to do with the R and the Python. Fine, if you know that, you are good to go. But at least you should also have a basic in SQL.
SQL.
Yeah.
SQL.
Because when you are being hired, they will ask. Because programming basically, they will ask, if you don't know anything, but they will ask you, Charlie, your SQL. You should know.
Okay.
But since you are doing R, I think you're on the right path.
Okay. But say, are you really into programming?
I'm not deep into programming.
Okay. Better still.
I'm into more visualization. And data analysis, yeah.
Okay. So me, I'll worry you. I'll just be coming into your DMs.
I hear you.
Yeah. Because this year, by the end of the year, I need to be a guru in this field.
Sure. So far as you are determined, you can do it. The name again?
Emmanuel Agri Asante. I've saved your number.
You're in Accra?
Yes, I'm in Accra, but currently I'm doing my service at Kumasi. But then I came over for the weekend, so.
So you are around, okay.
Yes.
Okay. If are you there? Any question?
Hi, Fred. There are no questions in the chat box, please.
So please, I guess then we understand the
So please, last one.
Yes.
The 360.
As you ask the question, I'm also launching a pool and I'm asking some questions. Please try and do all to answer. Yes,
okay.
I'm listening.
So please, with the 365.
Yes.
You said you can help us get it.
Yes, at a fee.
At a fee, how much is it?
Get in touch and I'll let you know.
Okay.
Well, something small, not much.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Please, I've pushed the pool, so yes.
Sir.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, you're smiling. Is it the $50 that is making you smile?
Come again.
I say you are smiling. Is it the $50 that is making you smile?
Yes, it's the $50. You are right. it's the $50. It's interesting, you know. I'm sure if I'd put there free, I'm sure if you have been the highest.
Sure. That one,
yeah. If I put there free, I'm sure then people would like to advance their career, but they are not willing to commit funds to it.
The economy hard though.
You say the economy is hard?
Yes, sir. The economy very hard though.
But you also want to advance your career. You want to be a better person at least.
I also think
at least for those of us who are still in education, it's very important. As I said, with the Excel tool, you can't run away from it. That's why when the world is moving into data analytics, Charlie, you need to really build yourself in whatever field you find yourself, HR, finance, audit. If you don't have a good background in data, you find yourself wanted, because all you have to do is you need to have a good data background so that you really advance your career. Because now data, as they say, is the next oil. So it's very important that you advance your career in the space of data.
And I said, so like you are saying, someone is in finance, someone is in marketing, and someone too is in IT, like a general purpose person.
Yes.
Where do I start from?
Someone
like people are into finance. I'm saying that people are into finance. Others are also in marketing and stuff. But some of us, we are just like IT. So where do we start?
So IT, in what field? Is it networking? Is it programming? I guess it was
No.
When you say IT,
I'm into programming.
Okay.
I'm into programming.
Oh, okay. So if you're into programming, then you're already doing this. Maybe you just need to skew towards either Python, R, and do a little bit of what do we call it? I don't know whether you are familiar with the Power Query or Power Pivot tables. At least in that space, it will help you.
Okay.
When you say programming, which programming language are you using? Or are you coding?
I use Python. I use C, C++, and stuff.
Oh, okay. So then try and enter into the space of the R and the. So let me be frank with you. The point is that as much as you are doing Python, you are doing R. When you walk into most of the working MC companies, for them is the basic one they are looking out for. So far as you have your good Excel, you have your good Power BI, you can do a better analysis for them. They are okay with you. If you are not dealing with big companies who manage a lot of data, where then you have to use SQL to extract data and to manage data, you are good with the Power Query, the Power BI, the Tableau, and all that. Because those are just tools you need to master, and you are good to go.
All right.
I can see Rebecca Anderson. Hello, Rebecca Anderson. Some names are quite familiar, so.
Yes, sir. Hello.
Okay. I can see Leslie. I can see Roland. Thank you for joining. I can see Michael. If there's no question for me, maybe if you have some tips to share where they can find us, our YouTube pages and all that. I'm sure that our next holiday will have a class. That one will be in-person class, so they should watch out for that.
Okay.
Yeah. And if you also want to get certified, as I said earlier on, in Microsoft Excel, any of the Word and PowerPoint, you can also do that. Or even where you want to also be recognized as an MCT, that is Microsoft Certified Trainer. You can also get in touch. We'll be able to assist you in that career path. Yes, thank you very much for your time and enjoy your holiday. Happy 65th Independence Anniversary. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Fred.
Thank you. Thanks for having us. Thank you, everyone, for joining. We hope to see you next time.
Maybe if I can repeat our pages.
Yes, please. So on social media, on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, you can find us FredExcel. I'm putting the link in the group in the chat right now. You can also go to our website, FredExcel.com, and then you see all our channels and everything.
Do you have a Telegram page?
Not currently. I'm putting the ones that we have on the chat right now.
Thank you very much, Alexandra, Oche, Michael, Emmanuel, Solomon, Ifutu, Prosper, Abdul. Oscar, your hand is up. I don't know whether you still have a question for us. I can see Oscar's hand is still up. We have Elom. Thank you, Elom. I don't know whether Elom of VLTC, Isaac, John, D, Jack, Abdul, Rafik. And we have Hamza, John, Andrea, Boa, MJ, Isaac, Dennis, Chrissy, Crunch, Emmanuel Agri. Thank you very much. Michael Atta, Anku. Thank you very much. Michael. Yeah, thank you. Hamza Mumuni, David Oteng, God with us, Michael Issa, Courage, Hodi. Thank you all for joining. We'll get in touch with you. We'll make the videos available to you through the mails you shared with us. Okay, and please look out for our channel, and do also sign up to our pages so that with any program you get to know, with any information on data you get to know about it. Thank you very much.
I've still not been able to get access to the data set. I've tried. The link you sent me a link on what do you call it, email, but I didn't see the link to the data. I
think it was even shared. It was even shared here.
Yes, but still, it applied the link.
Oh, okay. The name again.
On WhatsApp?
Come again? Yes. So I've sent my WhatsApp. I've been chatting you on WhatsApp. So I've read that you send it to me on WhatsApp.
Ooh. Okay, if we close it up.
Okay, so thank you all for joining. You can contact us whenever if you have any inquiries, and then we'll be happy to respond. We hope to see you next time. Have a good holiday. Thank you.
Thank you too.